It's a new year and a new Mormon romance novel book review. My New Year's resolution is to lose some weight, to cross a few items off my bucket list, and to review Love on Pointe by Tiffany Odekirk. Love on Pointe is a contemporary romance between two star-crossed lovers and set at BYU, which is kind of funny because I'm pretty sure the whole reason parents send their kids to BYU is to make sure their stars don't get crossed. Like many other Deseret books, this one is also billed as being an uplifting story for faithful members of the church, and for this review, I think that deserves a little scrutiny. So I'm rolling out the official Mormon romance novel book review spiritual inspiration meter to keep track of just how uplifted you'll get when you read it. Yeah, you get it. You know where I'm going with this. Just roll with it. BYU, the place where Brandon Sanderson learned to dress himself, and where you're never far from a landmark that has a nickname that has the word rape in it. Just thinking about the school makes me feel more spiritual. It's here under the stare of the ever-seeing Y that we meet our couple, Emmy Jennings and Rice Solario. Emmy is a student with a passion for ballet and is so good at it she's near to becoming a professional ballerina. Rice Solario is an 800-year-old wizard cursed to walk the earth until he can find a buried chamber of artifacts that will stave off the apocalypse. Ha, just kidding, his name is Matt Smith and he's just a normal dude studying pre-law. Ha, got you again, he's still a normal guy studying pre-law, but his name actually is Rice Solario, because apparently the authors down in Utah County hate their characters as much as they hate their own children. The two meet in Book of Mormon class, a required course for anyone attending the Lord's School, and when they form a study group, they both find themselves falling quickly but deeply in love. But there's a problem. It's soon revealed to the reader that Rice has a shameful secret, that he's not a member of the church. By day, he passes for one, he fakes conversations about attending Sunday school and puts on a white shirt underneath his clothes just to blend in. The implication here being that at BYU, a large portion of the student body either passively or actively alienates the people who are different from them. So good on him for adapting to that. Inspirational. Because of this faith-based fear of rejection, Rice keeps his secret from Emmy, and the conflict of the story is sparked when he finally makes his big reveal. He doesn't think their interfaith relationship has to be a big deal, but Emmy has a hard time reconciling her love and her faith, or making a compromise that wouldn't destroy both. And as if it weren't hard enough already, it's made especially difficult for Emmy because she has to think of the cautionary tales of her two sisters, one who got married in Las Vegas as a sort of joke, and another stuck in a miserable marriage to an alcoholic. And as we all know, there's no middle ground between getting married to an alcoholic in a sham wedding in Vegas and getting married to a faithful member of the church in the temple. So they decide they should part ways. What's Emmy to do? Is there a happy ending to this story? Find out after these messages. Even after breaking up, Emmy still has to admit to herself that she loves Rice, so she prays for guidance. In desperation, she asks the Lord for a miracle, even listing all her qualifications as a good member of the church, when she says, "I've done everything right. I've tried my best to obey every commandment. I came to BYU." And it seems to work, because she gets her miracle. In the throes of her emotional turmoil, she has a prophetic dream where a voice asks her, "Would you do anything to have Rice?" And she says, "Anything." And the voice says, "Even give up ballet?" And she says, "Yes, even that." And after a few chapters, she gets in a car wreck that messes up her legs badly enough to take away her ballet dancing career. Then, in the hospital, right at the end of the book, Rice shows up to her room saying he wants to get baptized. So I guess it could be said that in order for Emmy to have her true love, she, as the woman, was required to give up her career aspirations for no other reason than to trade them in exchange for a loving husband. You know, the right way to get married. At the center of Love on Pointe is a heartwarming message that if you're in an interfaith relationship, you should hope for a literal miracle, because any other course of action is either morally wrong or will leave you miserable for the rest of your life. Look at us, we're elbow deep in spirit over here. Making jokes about this book is exhausting. Can I just... The word problematic gets thrown around a lot in writing circles, so much so that nowadays it's become just another word for bad. But in its more or less original definition, problematic is a word that has a big lesson about storytelling packed into it. When a person says that a text is problematic, it means that the text has this story that it's trying to tell, but when you pick it up and look at it from a different angle, or maybe put it in a line with a few other similar stories, a new story emerges. One that the author may not have intended to write. When this happens, the new story usually compromises, or at least complicates, what the author was trying to say. One princess saved from a tower by a handsome prince is an act of heroism. 100 princesses all saved from their towers, and we begin to ask why it's always the princess getting captured, and why it's the man always saving her. The fact that stories can be problematic is almost disturbing. It's this idea that I can write something that I thought was inspirational or entertaining, but once analyzed turns into something sad, or serious, or even horrifying. I could spell out why Love on Pointe is so problematic. I could write a lengthy essay on it, or whatever, be more explicit. But what I really want is for Deseret Book to be able to spot when a story is problematic. Not me. I want them to do the rhetorical analysis. I want them to think harder about what stories they're letting represent our religion. I want them to spot these problems while they're still in manuscript form and say to themselves, we can do better than this. Because we can do better than this, can't we? Next month I'm reviewing Charlie by Jack Wayland for our special Valentine's Day episode. See you then.